Now I realize this is a different playlist because I'm having to use Royal 3. Or else this will be just like, welcome to yoga. If you have a strap and blocks handy, do you want a strap? I can get you one. Alright. So what we're going to do today is start off in child's pose. Hips to heels. Reach your arms long ahead of you. And from here, ground your forehead down to your mat and set your intentions. Now reach for your feet in child's pose. If you're comfortable with grabbing your feet, or you can just rest the tops of your hands on the mat. Here, relax your shoulders. Once again, focused on your intentions. Make your way to tabletop for cat-cow. Palms under shoulders and knees under hips. We're going to look up, look down. Tailbone points up. Good. Tailbone points down, making that Halloween cat shape when you arch your back. Maybe spread out your fingertips a little more. Now come to the neutral and just rock your shoulders left and right. Rock your shoulders forward and back. We're just getting our wrists ready for our practice, and then circle. Circle, circle. Change directions. And then walk your hands forward. We're getting ready for our first down facing dog of this practice. Press your hips up and keep your arms straight. Here we're going to walk our dog. So bend one knee and paddle down the opposite heel. Breathe into it. Big breath. Walk up to your hands. Step your feet wide. Grab each elbow for ragdoll. Sway side to side. If you need to, shake your head yes, yes, and no, no. Finding release. Bring your feet together, touching. We're going to round it up. Extended mountain pose. Reach for the heavens. Spiral your pinkies in. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Pause with your thumbs at your heartbeat. Gripping the mat with your toes. Engage your quads, your glutes. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. I'm keeping my back straight until tabletop. Then I'm rounding at the bottom. Inhale, halfway lift. This is the spine prep. Back is straight. Palms under shoulders, plank. Step it back to the top of a push-up. Knee plank. For chaturanga, we're not going to drop our hips. We're going to stack our elbows over our wrists, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. My thighs are off the mat, looking up. Exhale, down facing dog. Hips go up. Either walk or step to the top. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands down, plank it out. Same thing, go through your flow. Knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Moving with your breath, okay? Step to the top, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Pause, listen to your heart with your thumbs. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. When you inhale, halfway lift. When you're ready to exhale, we're going to step it back into plank. Knee plank, hips are still in line. Chaturanga, keep those elbows in. Inhale, rise into upward facing dog. Exhale, hips go up. Down facing dog. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold, chair. Heavy into your heels. Reach, and then sit a little more down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands down, plank it out. Knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down, facing dog. Walk your dog. Now when you're ready, right foot forward, warrior one, rise up, inhale, warrior one. Your front foot is straight. Your back heel's grounded. Hands down, step it back, plank. Knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, rise up, warrior one, second side. Feel that stretch as you reach for the sky. Hands down, step it back, plank. Knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down, facing dog. Take a moment to walk your dog. Walk up to your hands, forward fold into chair pose. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands down, step it back, plank. Knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down, facing dog. When you're ready to inhale, right foot forward. Inhale, rise, warrior one. As you reach for the sky, big inhale. And we're going to go chaturanga with an exhale. Go through your flow again. Chaturanga, inhale, upward. Exhale, down dog. Moving with your breath rather than my words. Left foot or second side. Inhale, warrior one, second side. When you're ready, hands down, plank, knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down, facing dog. Put your big toes close or touching. Continue to keep your straight arms pushing your chest to your thigh. Raise up only one leg, either side. Bend your knee, a few circles go one way. A few circles go the other way. I'm just drawing knee circles on the ceiling. Ground down, second side. Three-legged dog, bend your knee. Draw circles, rotate your hip and your hip socket both ways. A few circles each way. Come on down for child's pose, take a little break. I'm going to use blocks under my hands, that's optional. Now I'm going to stay where you're at. I'm going to switch us to supposition legs. Heart, is over. So I'm going to switch us up to supposition sounds. Take your time and breathe. Down facing dog. Walk your dog. Now either side, low lunge. So from down facing dog, take one foot forward and then lower down. I like to use the blocks. Feel free to fold down to your elbows. If you really need extra hip opening, it's okay to take your foot to the outside of your mat for a lizard lunge if you need that. Now I'm going to create more length in my extended leg. So my left leg is back. I'm going to scoot my knee south on the mat. Did y'all see what I did? That way I can create more stretch. I'm trying to keep my right knee over my right ankle in the front. Half splits. I'm going to straighten this front leg. Keep a micro bend in your knee. When I say straight, at least a soft knee. And then I'm going to drop my chest gently towards my front thigh and keep my neck in a happy alignment. Maybe pull my toes back towards my shin a little. And get ready to set up your down facing dog. So I'm going to slide my foot back. Hands go to the front of the mat. Down dog. Second side low lunge, lizard lunge, whichever you prefer. It's okay to fold up your mat if you need to make a little cushion. You can fold to your elbows or hold blocks. Same as first side, option to take your foot to the outside of your mat for a lizard lunge if you need more opening. Once again, I'm going to slide my knee south on the mat to create more stretch, more length in that back leg. I'm going to try to keep my front knee over my ankle a little bit for alignment. And check in that your spine is in a happy place because we're doing a hip opener. We shouldn't feel any kind of torque in our spine. When you're ready, sink that calf split. So I'm going to straighten the front leg. I'm keeping a micro bend in my knee. I like to turn my blocks tall for this. Dropping my chest down. Neck is in a happy alignment. Pull your toes back towards your shin here. Active rather than a ballerina pointy toe. Pull the toes slightly back. See if that feels any better. Get ready for down facing dog. I'm going to bring my foot back, plant my hands down, hips go up, walking my dog. And then walk up to your hands, forward fold, inhale, rise up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center, pause. Listen to your heartbeat with your thumbs. Now we're going to set up for pyramid pose. So I'm going to grab my blocks and put them at the tall setting at the front. Like that. And if you do pyramid already and you don't use blocks, it's fine too. I'm going to start with my right foot forward. Now both feet, note my both feet are straight, but I'm not standing on a tightrope. My feet are hip width. I'm going to keep my back straight, exhaling down when you're ready. Keeping my shoulders back and keeping my back straight, I will grab these blocks and maybe try to lengthen my spine a little more. Check in from here. Can you take your chest to your thigh without rounding your back? Maybe a little to the inside of your thigh, but without rounding your spine. Plant both hands on your front leg. Lift your back leg off and lift your heart center up for L legs, a variation of Warrior 3. We're just going to lift our legs straight up. And slow release. Step your feet together, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, extend, and mountain pose. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. And second side pyramid. Both feet are straight. Again, both feet are hip width. And exhale down when you're ready. Keeping your back straight. You can choose to use blocks if you want. It kind of helps me to create more length in my spine. When I grab those blocks, I'm like, how much taller can I make my spine? And then from here, take your chest towards your thigh, maybe a little to the inside of your thigh. And check in that you're not rounding your spine as you do. When you're ready, grounding both hands down onto your front leg, lifting your back leg up as you lift up your heart center, L legs, L shape, a variation of Warrior 3, and then come down as slowly as you can. Step your feet together, inhale, rise up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're gonna go legs spread wide. So I'm actually gonna grab both of my blocks and take them to this end. Sanskrit Prasarita Padottanasana, which is wide-legged forward fold. Take it down nice and gently. You can stay in tabletop or you can round down. Just keep your shoulders back. You can ground your elbows to the floor under your shoulders. If you don't want the blocks, it's okay. slowly return to tabletop first, and then bring your hands to your hips, round it up. Instead of coming up with a straight spine, we're going to stack our vertebrae one at a time, round it up nice and slow. Shoulder rolls at the top. Put your feet together, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Amazing. So next is our balance poses. This is where I don't want your faces nearer. We're going to start with eagle. Now, if you want to use the block, you can turn it up like so. And then as you cross your right leg over, you do that. Or if you're able to, wrap your toes around your calf. I really want to keep that chair leg. So right leg on top, right arm under. It's always opposites. Eagle, Garudasana. Lift your elbows. I've stacked my arms and I'm lifting. Release. March it out and get ready for second side. Left leg on top, left arm under. Lifting your elbows. Release. Unwind, march it out. You're going to get ready for tree. You can also use the block for tree. As long as you are in hip external rotation, you can also use the strap around your ankle. Focus on a spot that's not moving on the floor or ceiling. Just find a focal point and then stare at that spot. Option to grow your tree or stay where you were. And then we're going to try to release as slowly as possible. March it out. Second side tree pose. Inner ankle back, outer ankle down. And you can grow your tree or stay where you were. And slow release. March it out. Let's grab our strap. Anyone who doesn't have a strap can always grab a towel or a dog leash at home. If you got a dog leash, you got a strap. All right, I'm just going to wrap this around my foot, and then I'm going to extend. So it's the finger to big toe pose. When I'm using the strap, instead of actually grabbing my toe, I give myself a little more space to keep my shoulders back. I don't want to round my shoulders forward. Here's a pro tip. If this becomes difficult, try just adding movement like paddling your heel. Open to the side, look to your extended thumb. And then release very, very slowly. And then march it out. Happy hip stance. Second side. It's easier to grab the strap close to your foot and then try to let out slack rather than like walking your hand down towards your foot. And it's also easier to paddle your heel rather than holding in stillness. And when you're ready, open to the side, look to your extended thumb. Coming back slowly. Outstanding. March it out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Big inhale, halfway lift. Hands down for a plank. Step it back into plank. Knee plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down dog. Coming on down into child's pose. And now we're just going to move to our belly for crocodile. So crocodile means I'm folding my forearms and I'm just resting. So you can rest your forehead or your cheek. Bend your knees and let your feet float side to side. And then resting again in stillness. Locust pose when you're ready. Straight arms, straight legs go up. Most importantly, I want you to lift your heart center and your gaze up. Go ahead and clasp your hands together behind you, or you can use a strap, whatever speaks to you. Look up, and release. Crocodile pose. Fold your forearms, rest, bend your knees, and feet go side to side. Take a break. Once again. Second time, locust pose. Lift your heart. Straight arms, straight legs go up. Option to clasp your hands together behind you if you want to open your shoulders a little more. And release, child's pose. Hips to heels. Take a little break. Come into tabletop. Get ready for a little cat-cow. Inhale, exhale, just as we started. Look up, look down. Big breath. Now come to the center. I'm going to give you options here, okay? So you can extend your right leg and you can just stay here. Or you can add your left arm. Tabletop balance. You can stay here, or you can use the strap to do this. You can grab your toe or ankle, or you can wrap a strap around your shin, and I'm lifting my heart and my knee for tiger pose. Looking up, lift your knee, and release. Tabletop balance, come back down, cat-cow. Get ready for second side, left leg. Once again, it's okay to stay left leg only. Or add right arm and stay with tabletop balance only. Or tiger pose. Once again, you can grab a strap if you can't reach your toe or ankle and wrap the strap around. Lift your knee, lift your gaze. Looking up. Release. And come down slowly, child's pose. Hips to heels. Reach for the front of your mat. And tabletop pose. Third round of cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. We're going to go ahead and roll it over to our back. Optional spinal roll. Okay, if this doesn't speak to you today, just relax down and do some knee stirs. That means I'm just stirring my knees up in circles over my hips. Get ready for a shoulder bridge. So that means I'm going to ground my shoulders down, neck is neutral, hips come up. If you need a restful practice, put a block on the wide setting under your hips and rest down. If you want more ab work, keep your hips up off the block instead of using the block. That works your abs, your back, your obliques, your legs. You can feel your glutes are engaged. Or supported bridge is okay if that's what you need today. Release slowly. Let your knees gently float from one side to the other, very, very leisurely. Second shoulder bridge, here we go. Hips come up, lift. Once again, you've got the option of resting down on a block for a supported bridge if you need to take more of a break. And release. Let your knees float side to side. Now put your feet together and knees float out for Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. I am putting blocks under my legs for support. You try the blocks under your legs and you don't like it, just don't use them. Take your feet out wide, let your knees knock inward. So we're doing the opposite for our hips. My feet are wide, my knees are going in. Once again, don't force it, just let it happen naturally. And feel what's happening. Come back to your breath. Recommend a strap for happy baby pose, happy baby. So I'm going to put the strap around my feet. If you don't want to use a strap, it's okay to just grab your big toe with your two-piece fingers and your thumb, or grab your ankles. You can add movement or choose to find stillness here. Release, get ready for boat pose. Wherever you're at in boat, you want to keep your back straight and avoid rounding your shoulders forward. It's okay to touch your toes down if you need a break for your back. Release. Hug in your knees, rock it back and forth, rock it side to side. Optional strap, I'm going to go figure 4 next. Now, if you are practicing all the time, you may prefer half pigeon. I'm demonstrating figure 4. For advanced, it's okay to flip this over and go into half pigeon, but there's just as much to be gained from figure 4 as long as you can feel this stretch. If you need to make this easier, just add more bend to that leg. If you want to make it more challenging, it should be more straight. Deep breath, using your breath like a tool to deepen the pose. Reminding yourself that we are already complete and whole just as we are. Second side, make your smooth transition as you need. And release. We're going to make our way to seated. I'm going to keep my strap. The next step will be seated tree. Now, if your knee doesn't hit the floor here, like mine doesn't naturally go all the way down, I'll lift up my leg. Watch what I do. I go like 45-degree angle with my leg up and then rest down. Now, if you try that and you don't like it, you don't have to do it. It's just a way to get support. Knee is slightly bent on your straight leg. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cascade down to your extended leg. Option to use the strap on your foot if you need it. You can also just grab your foot. Sometimes when the student's more flexible, I'll say you can even put that block on the other side of your foot and try to reach the block. And kind of deepen your toes that way. Side. Once again, using as much as you need for rocks and support and setting it up. I'm going to make sure my hips are grounded evenly, like I'm not leaning to either side. Inhale up, cascade down. Even though I say this leg is straight, we never want to have our joints locked. So a soft micro bend in your straight leg. Or hey, if it's too much, you can always add a big bend. If it's way too much for you and it's too intense, it's okay to add a bigger bend in this leg. It's not cheap. If that's what you need. we're getting ready for a seated forward fold. So I can put the blocks here. Sometimes if I feel like I'm going to use the strap and I'm going to tie, like sometimes I'll accidentally tie my feet too close. Sometimes I'll even put the block like that. So I've got a space between. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cascading down. Once again, if reaching my feet is easy, bam, I can put the block over there on the other side of my feet. Something extra to reach towards. Micro bend in your knee. It's okay to add a deeper bend if you need it for your low back. I'm going to keep my chin away from my chest and my shoulders back. So spread your collarbones east and west. Stay in the pose. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold again. You can choose to stay in this forward fold, particularly if you have any kind of a wrist or shoulder injury. Next up is reverse tabletop. So lift up your heart and your hips looking up at the ceiling. My neck is in a straight line. Reverse table, just like it sounds. And lower down, once again, forward fold, gently taking it forward. Stay there. I don't know what happened with these ones. It's the timer. Go ahead and lie down on your mat. Hug your knees in like you're giving your knees a big thank you hug. Thank you, knees. Thank you, knees. Maybe roll around if you want to, like a beach ball. Both ways. And now we're going to do fish pose. So I'm going to put this block wide like that, right between my shoulder blades. And then I'm going to open up. You may need to adjust yourself a few times, and then I'm going to open up like I'm hugging the sky. Sometimes I'll even take this block and put it on the tall setting at a little bit of an angle, because it will fall. You want to set it up where you feel supported. Did y'all see what I just did? It's a little bit of a pillow. However, it's okay to not use that block there if you can keep your neck in a happy alignment, because this is kind of like a back bend for your neck. So I should be lifting my chin more. If I get to where I cannot breathe deeply, I've gone into hyperextension. We don't want to go so far that, like, while I'm talking, even my voice will start to get weird. I want to keep my throat open in my fish pose. This is similar to when you're hanging off the edge of your bed and you're like, this is exactly what my back needed. Like hanging off the bed upside down. Stay with it. Trust the process. Chin towards your chest. Support yourself when you come up. We're going to put our block underneath our hips for a shoulder stand. I'm sorry, for a waterfall. Now you can take shoulder stand. I was going to say that. I jumped the gun. I'm demonstrating legs at the wall instead of shoulder stand because this is easier on your neck. I'm just laying flat. I put the block underneath me like a pillow. The block is wide and on the low setting. If this is not speaking to you and you take shoulder stand on the regular, it's okay to go ahead and go into your shoulder stand. If you want to go ahead and practice your handstand or headstand, we're just getting upside down. And release. knees up, I'm gonna remove my block, and then we're gonna take our knees to either side. It's A-okay to put the block underneath your twist if you need support. You may not need the blocks. Whichever side you twist to, you can put your hand that's closer on your top thigh and press towards the floor if you want to assist yourself. Shoulders grounded, look away from your knees, breathe into this twist. I don't say this often enough. It's okay if you want to come out of the pose and then start over and get into your shape again to figure out how this posture can serve you best. Stack your knees together, hug in your knees in the center, and then I'm going to move my block over and take my knees over to the second side for that gentle twist. Once again, you can take your hand that's closer to your thigh and press down if you want to assist your twist. Press down to the floor. I'm keeping both knees bent to keep pressure off my lower back. Your top leg can extend a little bit if you're not feeling much. It's easier on your lower back if you keep that knee bent as closer to the floor. Stack your knees together, bring them up together, hug your knees in, final happy baby. You can grab onto your ankles, your toes, and release. Take a good morning stretch. That means I'm reaching north and south on my mat, maybe wiggling my fingers and toes a little bit, like just waking up. I'm going to ask you to find your final resting pose. That may be Shavasana, corpse pose. Maybe you prefer Supta Baddha Konasana. I want you to know that it's going to look different for everybody, so don't judge your resting pose by anyone else's. If you just need to bend your knees or put a pillow under your knees, put blocks under your knees, whatever you need. This is where I'm going to ask you to revisit your intentions that we talked about in the beginning. Whatever intentions that came to mind for you at the beginning of class, revisit it. We flow with grace and ease. We are reconnecting to that part of our soul that is full of loving kindness and compassion. Give some of that compassion to yourself. The purpose of the singing bowl is to give us a sound bath. In other words, to maybe wash away those thoughts that are no longer serving you and let go of whatever you need to let go of. As you're ready, roll over to either side. Use your arms as a pillow, knees are bent to keep pressure off your low back. As you're ready, use both hands to press yourself up to seated, gently and slowly. No hurry, no hurry. And as you get there, both hips are grounded evenly. Nice tall spine. Your eyes can be either open or closed. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. As if we're drawing up energy from the heavens and bringing it to your heart. Do it again. Now listen to your heartbeat with the knuckles of your thumbs. And I'll leave you with the mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which means may all living things be wild, happy, and free. May my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to such. Namaste. Be well. Thank you, yogis. And thank you, replay viewers. Namaste. YogiJules.com.